actually it means there's a lot of things to deal with. We're going to have more extreme weather events, we're going to have more droughts, more heat waves, more storm into the dry garden. So
this is just finishing touch stuff, basically. We've built this whole new garden, 6,500 plants, 35 new trees across a really varied planting. We've got herbaceous borders reflecting University of Reading's climate stripes. We've got a dry garden, we've got a rain garden, we've got shade planting under the trees, all sorts of things to see. A big part of this garden is the plant choice, making sure we're choosing the right things to reflect what we might be seeing in the climate in 20, 30 years' time. So for trees particularly, these are very, very long-lived plants. If we're planting something now that's going to be struggling in 20, 30 years' time, that's not a very sustainable choice. So Kew has done a lot of research into the kind of trees, the species particularly, that we should be planting that will thrive in those changed conditions. So they're really locking up carbon for the long term.
In the centre behind me you can see a fungal fruiting sculpture and a shelter, which has been obviously been really inspired by fungi, because fungi are a really important part of the carbon cycle. It tilts slightly towards the sun like a plant would do. Again here we were really concerned about embodied carbon, so the base of it is made of granite stone. On the top there's a composite panel and it's made from flax and resin, which is a kind of nature-based solution alternative to fiberglass. It's very lightweight. It's never been used on a building before, so this is a first. So for the construction industry, they could all look at how this fares in Kew Gardens, and hopefully also adapt their ways in the way of choosing sort of more natural solutions to construction. I think carbon's recently been getting a really bad reputation because we talk about greenhouse gases and how much burning of fossil fuels has put the whole of the carbon cycle imbalanced, which is what's causing the climate to warm up. Whereas actually when you put everything back in balance, carbon's the most important thing to do with life. So it's a building block for life, and by keeping the CO2 levels in the atmosphere just right, it allows the temperature of the Earth to be just right for life, so for plants, humans, animals and trees.
Carbon emissions and carbon sequestration are a key part of climate change and sustainability, so it's really important that places like Kew Gardens are addressing that in the design of the place. And we see this in this new carbon garden that looks at how nature can help contain carbon within the soil and the role of plants and fungi in doing so. And of course it's also an educational element to it, teaching us all about the carbon cycle we learned at school. I think everyone's aware of carbon emissions and the impact they have on the world, but I suppose they don't always see what they can do about it and how the natural world can help them. And I think it's particularly relevant when they come to somewhere like Kew Gardens to see how that can happen. But also, you know, we see planes flying over us from Heathrow, so we're right in the place where it's all brought into tight focus for all of us, so it's the perfect place for us to learn about how we can reduce carbon emissions through working with nature.